Welcome to another episode of Cohort 1986. It feels so good to be back, doesn't it?
Yes, I am so glad to be back with you guys. We took a couple weeks off just to kind of revamp some things. We also had some very exciting news as well. So we have an up and coming partnership, but we'll get to that later. But today, I really want to take the time to thank Miss Kellye McRae for coming in to have some time with us today to really kind of talk about her nursing career. We talk about her accomplishments, to talk about some of those barriers to entry and so forth. But I must say, I've known Kellye, I won't say how many years, but all I'm gonna
Oh
say,
man, we go way back.
we've been in this thing for a long time,
Yes.
like the beginning of my college career. So we were together there. Then I ended up in Columbia. We were together there. So yeah, we got the time under our belt.
A little bit of
A
time.
little bit of time, just a little bit. Not a
Yeah.
lot, about 4 years times, whatever. Anyway, I want to give you guys some background about Kellye. I had to get my paper out. Okay, I want y'all to see what my girl has been up to. So Kellye is a BSN RN, unit nurse educator, orthopedic staff nurse. She's also worked in the medical surgical nursing, post-op unit. She has been an adjunct CNA instructor at a technical college. She's also worked at a long-term rehab facility,
Mm.
a nursing home. So she's been a CNA for 8 years since high school. Okay, high school.
High school.
She has been a LPN 2 years and an RN 7 years. And she is currently, she's back in school, y'all. She is working on her MSN
I know that ministry.
nurse educator degree. Okay.
Give it up for Miss Kellye.
Yes.
We
Thank
want to
you so
thank you
much.
so much for joining us today.
No problem.
Do you have anything you want to say before we start?
I just want to say thank you both, Candace and Rodney. I appreciate you all for having me on your platform. It's an honor to be here. I love what you both are doing. 1986, that's the best year out there. That's my birth year. Love it. I love what you're doing. Keep doing this. It's a positive platform. We need more people like you all to just spread the word and just highlight different careers that are, kind of not looked upon, and have different people and voices. And I appreciate you all for doing this so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We
We appreciate that. And we accept
appreciate
it. We
that.
accept it.
We accept it all.
So Kellye, we want to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Okay, so that story always goes like back beyond time. So I'm originally, and a lot of people don't know a lot of this, but originally I'm from Harlem, New York. That's where I was born, Harlem
New York.
Hospital. And I stayed there. Yep. Harlem Hospital. I stayed there for about, I would say, like 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And my mom relocated with my grandmother and grandfather at the time, relocated to South Carolina, a small town called St. George. So St. George, South Carolina raised me near Charleston. That's everyone is like, where's that? Is it Georgetown? I'm like, no.
Girl,
Near
yeah, all the
Charleston.
time. All the time.
Charleston. But I was raised in South Carolina, born in New York. So South Carolina is my home.
Okay.
That is that's my heart. That's where I'm originally from. And so just kind of fast forwarding to college, I went to college in Francis Marion University in Florence.
Yep,
So Florence is a part of me as well, 5 years in Florence. And then I relocated to Columbia, which 4.5 years was my Columbia home, until my husband found me and moved me to North Carolina.
Yep. I remember that.
Carolina coast.
I remember that.
Carolina coast. So North Carolina for about 2.5 years. And we recently relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, where that's where we reside now. And we've been here for about 4 years. Time flies. 4 years we've been.
I'm about to say, like, it seems like you moved in like last year, 2 years ago.
Was like,
4 years.
4 years. And I go by my baby girl Brianna. She'll turn 4 next week. So when
happy birthday, baby.
Yeah,
that's when we moved.
birthday.
Yes, thank you. So yes, I look at her and I'm like, wow, that's how long I've been in Atlanta.
Girl.
Wow.
So I have to ask you, like, what were some of your influences growing up? Like, did you think you would be a nurse? Did you think you would be in healthcare? Or, where did you see yourself at a young age?
So young age, I always knew I was going to be in healthcare. I always knew I was going to be helping people. But growing up, I didn't understand how I would get there. So basically, at an early age, like I said, when my grandmother and grandfather relocated to the South, my mother and we were there, and my father was actually from the South. So relocating with him, that was a whole blessing right there. But my grandfather was sick, and he passed away actually due to cancer at the time. And I just remember nurses coming into the home at the time. They had all white. They would come into the home, take care of my grandfather. He would be sick, and I just knew they would be there for him, giving him medicines, helping him with baths. And I didn't understand until I got older. I put two and two together. My grandmother and mother kind of explaining, they were there to help my grandfather get better, but it was just he was on hospice care. So that's what it ultimately came down to. But not only they were helping that they were helping him, they were helping us as well, because they would, explain things to us. They were there comforting us, talking to us through the process of his death. And I just remember, faintly remember, going through his funeral and like, wow, those people helped us, even though my grandfather is no longer with us, they helped us. So going up into middle school, high school, I always looked into CNA, nursing, the career itself. Luckily, in my high school, we had that dual program. They introduced the career school to us in high school. So I was skeptical about it, but me and three of my best friends, we signed up in our 10th grade year to the career school, Dorchester County Career School. That was like one of the best decisions of my life. And, being young, you want to do the right thing, go on the right paths, but you don't really know what's in store. But I just remember CNA being something that I was like, this is what I need to do. And with three of my best friends, we was ready. So we all did it at the same time. So that was how I ended up as a CNA.
It's so incredible that you find your purpose and your passion so young.
Very.
A lot of people, they're 30 and 40 years old and still don't know. It's really a blessing. It's really a blessing.
Yes.
So, so obviously, when you went to college, you wanted to jump into nursing. So, what college did you actually attend?
Okay, so my first college I attended right out of high school was Francis Marion University. So I remember applying to Francis Marion University, being from St. George, that area. Almost the majority of my classmates, they would go to like South Carolina State, Claflin. Those were the two colleges everyone would get accepted to, full scholarships and all, which I was offered a full scholarship to Claflin as well. I was offered a full scholarship to State. But I wanted to be different. I was like, no, I'm not doing the local thing. I'm not doing, going down the street, coming home every day, going back to school, which that sounds really good. And I love my family to the core. I'm a family person. But I wanted to be that person to go away.
Go away.
My best friends.
I'm gonna make you miss me.
Oh, right. I'm gonna make y'all miss me now. But I'm gonna come back though. So it was just being the type of person I am. I wanted to go away. Not too far, but not too close. So it was between Spartanburg and Francis Marion. I knew I wanted to go into nursing, and then a part of me was like, maybe a doctor is a little better than nursing. Let me just try the doctor route. But I said, for the nursing school, let me do Francis Marion University. Not a lot of my college classmates, high school classmates went to Francis Marion. I was like 1 out of 4 selected. So I said, let me go to Francis Marion University. I looked it up, looked like a great place, Florence. I was ready.
Yes. So what was that experience like? Like, what were your classes like?
So going into, Francis Marion classes, they were rough. I'm gonna tell you one thing. That was a prestigious school. Francis Marion was known for being one of the top, and they will tell you why they were one of the top schools in South Carolina. It was kind of laid back to get into that school, but to stay in Francis Marion University, that was a whole nother beast. My classes were general classes. They were things like your English. You had to do your chemistry, general biologies, anatomy and physiology. You need to take your math courses, all those basic courses. You had to have some electives in there, your Spanish and things like that. But they all built upon what area you wanted to go into. So I would say my freshman year, I went into my freshman year thinking I'm going to be a nurse, but after I said, let me change my route, talk to my advisors, and I wanted to go to med school. So I went the biology route. I went the biology track. So I was kind of taking chemistries and kind of taking, more physics. So when they hit me with the physics, now I went back to my advisor. I was like, oh, I can't handle that. But the thing was about me, I stayed on my advisor's behind. I was one of those type students that I'm giving y'all my money, so I'm going to be talking to these advisors. I'm going to be talking to my mentors. I'm going to be talking to these teachers. I'm going to be talking to seniors to figure out what they did.
Right.
The same thing. So that's the kind of thing that, you know, I try to tell people who are going to college. You need to know what your handbook states for your track of study, and you need to talk to the stuff change every day. So my advisor actually told me my track changed while I was in the program, and I didn't even, had I not went to her in her face, I would not have known that. So I said, okay, Francis Marion Nursing School is what I want to do. So my sophomore year, taking all the classes I needed to get me there is what I did, and I got accepted into the nursing program.
Wow. So like what I remember you like studying all the time with like these little what do they call it? The index cards, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, like what is that? What kind of mind frame do you have to be in to kind of go into a nursing program? You know, even with the biology, like, you know, what was that transition like from going to high school?
And I want to add on, like, you're in college and your peers are going out and stuff like that. So how do you
see Kellye out?
Hey, that's what I was gonna say. Candace, lesion.
So when you were in college, like, how did you balance your time with friendship, school, and social life? How did you balance all that?
Planners. So since middle school, I was stuck on these little, we had planners. We had these little calendars that the school would give us. They wasn't called planners and calendars at the time. Gosh, they were called something else.
I know what you're talking about. Agenda.
With that little spiral.
Like, yes. And your blocks or your courses or what have you. Now that was my life at a young age. So I was always coloring in it, doodling in it, writing scriptures in it. Like I took it to a whole nother level. So before planners and all of this stuff was planners and happy planners, I was doing all that back then. I don't even know why Kellye and those nurses need a calendar planner line. I'm gonna get to that. So I was doing that at an early age. So that set me up to say, okay, Kellye, you have 4 classes. You know, you got these new friends over here to the right. You do want to hang out. So what you're going to do, you're going to get up 5 a.m. You're going to be in your books in the corner in your room because I have my roommate. So I would be in my books early. I would do all my morning classes, straight up all morning classes. While people are in the bed sleep, I'm hustling. I'm in the library first thing it opens. I'm scheduling out my classes, my study time. If I know I want to go to the Legion on a Thursday night, all my stuff is going to be done and turned in before Wednesday. You know, and I'm checking it twice, and I'm actually doing coursework ahead of time. So when I get my syllabus, I set my schedules up to dictate how I'm going to maneuver in the week, how I'm going to maneuver. Okay, I have a test this day. You know, I want to party this day, or I want to go back home because home is where my heart is. So I would go home every 3 to 4 weekends straight, like clockwork. So I knew all of that about myself. So for me to get through and balance my life with schoolwork, because it was intense. I don't mean studying 30 minutes and you go. No, every day you had to study for about 2 to 3 hours, probably more than that. In each subject area, you needed to devote 20 hours per week, like a job, like you go into a job period. Devote that time to those classes, and then you would have extra time to go party and have a good time. Because I believed in a good time. Now I'm not trying to, waste my time. I was trying to be out. I was trying to be to all those I never pledged or anything like that, but I was at all the Kappa parties. I was at all that stuff. I loved it. And I mean, going to the mall, going to Magnolia Mall, buying outfits for your party. Yes, that was it. But I knew how to get 2 hours of sleep and get up for that biology class at 8 o'clock. My friends did class because they were asleep. I didn't do all that. I was the one that was up with a Red Bull sitting in class, writing my notes. Perfect attendance got me 2 or 3 points on my test that everybody failed. So that's the type of stuff. You have to have the mindset to know you have a goal and you're going to do everything you need to do to get there. So that was where it was.
That's very important. I mean, that's deep, and just kind of having that mindset at an early age, even having that mindset now to get things done, right? So, we all have the same amount of time each week.
Right.
The same time every day.
Right.
But
right.
it's about balancing. So
Right,
I mean that was a nugget for y'all. If y'all didn't catch that, y'all can call it.
You didn't catch it, rewind it back.
Okay, rewind. So at that point, when you finished college, what was kind of that next step after Francis Marion?
So, and then I'm going to rewind it for a second because I left out one little thing.
Yeah.
So going back towards my sophomore year when I was studying and grinding so hard, everybody who's seen and knows me knows how hard I work, how dedicated I was. So getting into nursing school, that was a no-brainer. I was there. My first semester, very intense, very hard. Francis Marion just started a new program. And so I was in one of those the classes to begin the nursing school. So it was one class, pathophysiology, kicked my behind. I failed it by like 5 points. With nursing school at Francis Marion, you can only fail twice. You fail 2 classes through your 2 years of school, you're out the program, period. No questions asked. So when I failed pathophysiology, I was like, wait a minute, this is not right. And I mean, 5-point fail. I mean, going to the teacher and like, what's going on? What's the problem? Yeah. So that was like one of my obstacles. That was something that I couldn't even explain. And I wasn't even that type. Yes, I partied, but I knew when to shut it down and do my work. So it was a reality check. I looked deep within and I was like, okay, I got to change something. So then I went into beast mode in summer school. I had to go to summer school, and that was unheard of in my vocabulary. But I went and I had to take 2 classes. It was about 20 of us that failed pathophysiology by like under 5 points. And then summer school, yes, majority of us were African Americans. Yes, yes, definitely. So that raised the flag, but then we worked so hard in the other 2 classes. And at the end, we all failed by point. It wasn't even a point for some of us. For me, it was 1 point. Yes, I failed another class. So that meant I failed twice, and I was out of Francis Marion Nursing School, period. No questions asked.
Wow.
Petitioning, trying to go to the dean. It was probably 10 of us that were very close. And we were like, something is not right. This is not right. And I mean, that was one of the phases in my career that was like a life-changing moment for me. Yeah. I was depressed. I was sad. I didn't want to go to Francis Marion anymore. Yeah. I was straight up devastated. But in that moment, I knew it was a purpose. So I went back, completed my biology degree. That wasn't where I wanted to go. But in that moment, I knew I started something. I need to finish it. I was so close. Switched it up, graduated my biology degree. That's when I moved to Columbia, South Carolina.
Resiliency.
Back as a CNA.
Resiliency.
Delayed, not denied.
That was, delayed, not denied. Did not understanding at the point. I thought I was a failure. Thought I let my family down. Thought I let my friends down. I thought everybody was looking at me like, that girl didn't make it to be a nurse and she worked so hard. Everybody knew I was in nursing school. So that was the crazy part. But that was something that, when I can tear up talking about it. But at that point, that was something that I just said I would just bury it, never really talk about it that much. But
I appreciate you talking about that, because so many times, we see people and we're like, oh man, they got the house, they got the dog, they got the kids, they have the job, but we don't know the story, right? And that's why it's so important. And that's another reason why me and Rodney do this. Is because we want to show people the complete picture, right? We want to make sure that, we see ourselves in the frame. We see the whole picture. And I mean, I've had a similar experience to you, where something similar has happened to me. And I was like, gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I feel so bad about it. Everybody knows that I'm doing this. But the resiliency, right? And putting resiliency over fear of the unknown. I mean, at that point, you didn't know what you were going to do. You just know, okay, well, I got to reset. And that's a very important part of life. Sometimes we just have to stop what we're doing and reset everything. It doesn't mean that you stop. It doesn't mean that you don't go for it with your goal. It just means that, you find another way. You find another route. You found another path. So, girl, hats off to you. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
So fast forward, you got another question, right?
So when you moved to Columbia, what steps did you take to get back on the track that you knew?
To dust myself. I'm gonna tell y'all, Aaliyah, if you at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. I'm gonna tell y'all that song was on my replay when I moved, because after Francis Marion, I graduated 2009 and went back to St. George, South Carolina. And that's when I worked back at the nursing home I started out with as a CNA. I did that for a summer to figure out what I needed to do, how I needed to pick myself up. I was not going to be in St. George the rest of my life with all my classmates. Was not doing it.
No.
So that song was a motivation for me to apply to CNA jobs. I have a career. I had a career since high school.
Yeah.
Some people are nursing assistants for the rest of their lives. I love CNA. So I said, I have a career. It's just trying to figure out how I want to keep moving forward, how to keep going forward. So when I moved to Columbia, it was a lot of nights, praying about it. My family was my biggest support. My grandmother, Lord, love her to death. I call her every single day since I left high school.
Same.
When I was in college, I called my grandma 2 and 3 and 4 times a day till this day. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I call my grandma 4 times a day. Period. Still to this day.
Look, grandmas are the best. They are the best.
Yes, I am definitely. Yes, a witness, Candace, definitely. So she had kept every morning, Kellye, you're gonna get up, you gotta get out this bed with something, we gotta do something else, and she motivated me to keep going. So I said, I'm moving, Grandma, I'm sorry, can't stay with y'all. I love my mom and grandma, but I gotta go. So Columbia was where it was. That was my first job. Palmetto Health Baptist hired me as a nursing assistant. So when I got there, I met a group of women who they all were CNAs as well, a couple of nurses. That was my inspiration to go back to school. Wow. They were like, Kellye, you can do it. You're smart. You're so good at what you do. So let's go back. So it's kind of like I had a pact with one of my close friends. She was a CNA at the time. She was like, let's go back to school. And that's when I did. I picked it up. The LPN at Midlands Technical College. They were accepting students right then and there. The RN program took a year to get into. So I said, let me do LPN. Let me get my foot in the door and go for it. So that's what I did.
Wow. And so what did that mean for you? To progress, like from
I would see all my friends from Francis Marion who did graduate in 2008, the year I was supposed to graduate. And I would be like, dang, that was supposed to be me, but I took it as God has something else better for me.
Yeah.
It's not my time right now.
Yes.
So I was confident in that. I didn't really understand how he was going to do this or how, because it wasn't going to be me. Right. I was like skeptical about LP, and I felt like I was backtracking myself. I always felt 4-year university is what it is, what you need to do. 2-year university is going backwards. So I was like, gosh, for me to go to this 4-year college and go to 2-year college, this doesn't make sense. But that wasn't for me to figure out. I enrolled. I had some hard instructors during my LPN career. Graduated in 2012, became a nurse. Just because you're an LPN does not mean you're not a nurse. LPN, licensed practitioner nurse. Yep. You're a nurse. You're not an RN yet, but you are a nurse. So in that role as a LPN, that's where I found my voice, because there were a lot of nurses eating young. It was a lot of the older nurses that are RN look at LPNs like, you ain't crap. You ain't nothing. You just beneath me. All it takes for me is to go back to school, but I'm running circles around you now because LPNs work hard. So in the nursing home that I'm working at, I was over and delegating CNAs, but I respected my CNAs. Was the difference between other LPNs. I was a CNA myself, so I knew how to give a bed bath, take vital signs, change elderly patient with a brief, and give a med pass, and document what I need to document and talk to a doctor. I can do all of that, where you have some nurses come into the field straight from high school to RN, never being a CNA, and they don't know how to make up a bed. They're calling their CNAs, hey, can you make up this bed? Well, can you do that? They can't, because they didn't have that
training. That foundational stuff.
That training.
And that training, correct.
But Kellye, I'm just sitting here thinking, and I'm like, everything works. It works in accordance with God, with what God has in your life, right? And it's just like all of these things that you, at the time, you felt like, I thought this was supposed to be me, but there was something else that you were supposed to gain at that point in time in your life to get you to where you are now. That's just so good.
And I did not know any of that. So one other story that I can say on top of how God orders your life. He orders your steps. So in the midst of me crying and being devastated when I did not pass, this was in Francis Marion. When I did not pass the first class, right? Didn't pass the first class. I was like, oh my God, this is fail number 1. I'm about to be kicked out of this program. So that summer, before I had to go to summer school, that summer, that's when my mom was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, wow.
In that summer. So, you know, when you're in a nursing program, you barely can get days off. You cannot get days off, period. If you do, you're going to be massively behind where you're going to fail, or you're going to be stressing trying to keep up, then you're going to fail. Yeah. So when I found out about my mom, that was a whole nother life-changing event. I was able to be with her during her diagnosis. The second time that my path was delayed, not denied, that's when my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer. Now that one hit me to the core, but God is good.
Yes.
I was able to be with her during her surgery and her coming out of it. So it was twice, not once, it was twice that my purpose was blocked. I had an obstacle because it was something hidden that I need to be there for. And that was more important than anything. So even though the journey that I'm talking to you all about, and I didn't want to say it while I was talking to y'all in the beginning, but I wanted y'all to catch this story. But that is what I'm saying. You will not know during your journey why you're going through some of the things you're going through, why your path is being blocked, why you are going through the storm every single step, because it's just not your time, period. Doesn't mean you got to straight up forget it and never go back to it. It's just the timing isn't right. It's something else you have to learn, something else you have to do. Had I not had those tests, I would not have testimonies to speak to people in the way I can attest to and speak to them. I have people coming to me now saying, Kellye, how in the world did you get through X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, it's not the matter of me getting through it. It's just I've been there, done that. That's why I can talk to you this way. That's why I can tell you what to do without looking in a book, because I've been there, done that. So,
girl,
Kellye,
she's the fire today, boy. This is where we do this.
So I want to fast forward. Your RN.
Yeah.
Right.
What program did you get into, and how was that journey to becoming the RN?
So the journey to becoming RN, just because I tried it the first time, did not make it any easier. Period. I came into it with a different outlook. I was still young, you know. I still was in the technical route. I went to Millen's Technical College in Columbia, South Carolina, Airport campus. When I attended nursing school, then my classmates the majority of them were older than me, and it was like most of them this was their second career. So they were coming into the program all about, I'm getting my work, I paid my hard-earned money, I'm going to get what I need to get and get out. Like they were all about their books. Some of the classmates that I had that came straight out of high school, those were the ones that partied and stuff like that. They really didn't understand the purpose. But it was just the ones that I connected to, had the kids, had the marriages, all that good stuff. But my learning was different from their learning. God knew that. He knew that Kellye had to be the type of person to be in the books from 7 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. And that's where I found my grind. I found my hustle and my grind at Millen's Technical College. Meaning, when I was in Millen's Technical College, I worked as an LPN in my RN program. I worked double shifts. If I had a test, I had the people to work in my spot to help me because I needed to work full time. I was in my apartment. I paid for everything on my own. I worked a second job, and I ate sandwiches, ramen noodles, what you call it, oodles and noodles. I ate all that to save to pay for school. That's when I said, I'm not getting any more student loans. Francis Marion taught me, no more student loans.
Yeah.
I paid out of pocket for every single class in my RN program. And I learned how to hustle, and I learned how to create other streams of income while I'm trying to get to where I need to get.
Yeah.
So that was Millen's Technical College purpose in my life. And I got my RN, but it was me learning it takes a village, and it takes a community of people that you trust, and God will put them in your life. Yeah. But those 3 or 4 women that we all established this goal together.
Yeah.
100 child. We're friends to this day. But let me tell you something, calling each other 5 a.m, getting off from work, being tired, making a sandwich, getting 2 hours of sleep, getting back up, grinding again. They taught me the definition of what grinding meant. Now, even though we were a huge age difference, but my mindset was a little bit more advanced because I had experience.
Right.
So they didn't know that about me, but when they would talk to me, my mindset was on their level. I just was in a millennium body, but I had an old school mindset. Okay, you hear that?
So, Kellye, that kind of brings us, so like, let's talk a little bit about what you're doing now. So, like, what is your job now? Like, what are you doing?
Fast forward to being an RN. So now I am a RN on an orthopedic unit. It's a post-surgical unit for patients who have orthopedic surgeries, spine surgeries, hip replacements. So I work an ortho spine unit. So meaning, and also med surge too. So my patients, they come from surgery, come straight to my floor after PACU, and they are hurting. They're in true pain. So when I get my patients, they don't want to see me. They don't care about me. They don't care about seeing me. They don't care how to talk to me. None of that stuff. They want their pain medicines. So with that role, you have to be quick because you get patients. Patients are staying there a day or two and they're going home. So you have 6 patients as a nurse. That's really fast paced, but you have to be on your feet, giving meds, doing what you have to do, getting patients in and out while still giving the best care and still, maintaining your sanity as well. So I also am the unit nurse educator on my floor as well. I entered that role about 2 years ago. So I've been on my unit about 4 years. So being a nurse educator, I onboard new nurses. I onboard agency nurses. I onboard new grad residencies. Y'all will see me. So if anybody and they working want to work at Piedmont, they will see me. I'm onboarding my newbies. I treat them like brand new nurses. It kind of puts me in a mindset of where I was coming up, So I love my new nurses, new baby nurses, and I mentor them. I precept them. I set them with preceptors. I do their scheduling, and I'm basically their support. I'm one of the support systems that they come to me, can talk to me, and help them, with their career.
I could see God kind of crafting that role for you, especially with all you've been through. And you have the ability to connect with people, and you actually care.
Definitely.
And so for you to be the first person to interact with, it's just a wonderful thing with Piedmont Hospital.
I would agree. I agree. And one of the questions that we had from one of our members was, what advice would you give someone that's starting off their career in nursing?
So I would tell them to stick with what you're doing. Never start something and not get it finished. Continue to push hard, continue to study, whatever method you need to do while studying, use it. It's a variety of different levels of learning. Find how you learn best is number one. You need to know if you're more auditory, you're visual, because for me, I can study with a person, and if they're talking to me and I don't understand, it won't click. It will never click. You can tell me all day. 1+1 is 2. You can tell me, but until you get up and put it on the board and show me how you got those calculations, and show me how I learn better like that. So you have to find out how you learn, stick with that, ask questions, use resources, and stick with it. I mean, just keep going. Whatever it is you want to do, keep going. Find a mentor, talk to them, get advice, and just keep going.
Speaking of mentors, now we have to talk about
Kellye
knows
nursing.
Yes, definitely. So Kellye knows nursing. So that's my baby. I thought about Kellye knows nursing while I was in LP in school, but it really didn't come out of me until actually I met my husband. And so he came up with Kellye knows nursing because he's like, nursing, like Kellye knows nursing. That clicks. So he's very creative. I lack any creative component whatsoever. So he came up with, we came up with Kellye knows nursing. So basically, I want to use it as a platform where new nurses can come and get inspiration, get motivation from my journey. So I'm trying to build it like on Instagram now. I try to use encouraging posts, motivational posts. I use my stories to kind of like talk to nurses about, being resilient, going forth, doing what you are called to do, listening to God, things like that. So I'm trying to build up a community of nurses to where you can just come vent. You can come ask me questions. Pretty soon, I want to do like a platform where if you would like a mentor, if you like me as your mentor, bringing packages together. Because I mean, I went to school for so long. I have so much experience. But then it comes down to how will I pay my bills? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to charge because I can give people advice all day. But then when it starts getting into I'm researching for 2 hours to figure out how to help you in your journey, or I'm taking away time from my kids and my husband to be on the phone with you, trying to help you navigate through life. It's an issue now because now I'm not making money from it. Yes, I'm helping you and I love to help, but I have to create how to gain a stream of income from what I'm doing. Gotcha. That's kind of where it's coming. I do have Kellye Knows Nursing Mask. I do have little it's not a calendar yet, but it's like a little notebook. I have stuff like that. So I'm trying to learn how to monetize my passion to make it work for me. I work in a hospital. I love my hospital job. I love, but that 7A to 7P lifestyle, kind of like a 9 to 5, we're going to have to kind of, get that down some,
So you mentioned mentorship. How important is that to you?
That's very
generation coming up.
Very, very seriously important to me. Mentorship to me is having someone that you can, when you enter the career of nursing. For me, I had a mentor, but it wasn't a true mentor.
Right.
My mentor was my mentor because I started a new job and she was paired to me to be my mentor. So she called me maybe once or twice the first couple months, maybe 2 to 3 months. But then after that, it fell off. So it's kind of like I was kind of lost, low-key lost. But luckily, I had people I knew before who were nurses before that I can just pick up the phone. Hey, how you doing? How did you navigate through this obstacle at work? Or how did you navigate when an older nurse is giving you trouble at the job? So for me, when I decide to be someone's mentor, I'm going to be with you from the beginning to the end. I mean, the beginning when you decide you want to be a nurse until the end when I'm at your graduation cheering you on. Like that's the definition of a mentor. A mentor is somebody that you can talk to outside of who you're working with or outside of who you're going to school with, your professors, instructors. Getting through where you need to be and allowing them to use their journey to say, hey, you don't need to do it this way, you need to do it that way. This way does not work because X, Y, Z, elemental P. I tried it that way. It doesn't work. So they will not listen. People won't listen to you unless you've been there, done that. How can they listen to somebody if you never experienced what they experienced or been through what they've been through? It's one thing for me to, come to Candace about an issue, but she is not a nurse, so she won't understand it that way. So
I won't know. So don't ask me.
I mean, you can give me your advice. I trust your opinion. I trust your advice. You're awesome, smart individual. I get that, but I have to talk to a nurse who has a husband, who has kids, who has bills, and who's where I'm trying to be. So that's the difference. You have to talk to people who's been in your footsteps to get advice from somebody.
So you just mentioned the husband, the kids, the job. Kellye knows. How do you balance everything that's going on in your life?
That's an awesome question. I mean, Rodney, I can't even sit here and say I have it together. I still don't have it figured out. I'm not perfect. And I tell people that all the time. They see the glitz and the glory and the glamour. They don't know my story. But every day I'm trying to learn how to be a better person. Every day I'm trying to be a better mom, a better wife. Because when I'm excelling in one area, another area is actually literally falling apart. So it's like being real. You have to be all the way real and transparent.
That's it.
Every day I try to work on using my calendar. I have something called, Happy Planner. Using the calendar for every single thing in my life, y'all.
I'm see why you and Candace are friends.
Get out of here.
But I'm telling you, it's like I'm trying to better myself, and even like going to the gym, hanging out with married couples, being a better wife to my husband, trying to give him his time. He would tell you all I do is work. All I do is worry about nursing. All I do, which, yes, that's my career. Yes, that's my passion. Yes, I have roles outside of my 7 to 7. But 2, I'm still a mom first. I'm still a wife first. I'm still, So I would just say keeping a calendar of all your important things is very important. The days you go to work, put it on the calendar. The days you want to go to the gym, put it on the calendar. Date night, make time for it. Try to incorporate times where you and your spouse can do things together, whether it be, hey, I want to take you out to brunch today. Hey, I want to, because I'm not at all creative at all. I tell you, my husband has all of that. He does all of that. So it's just me getting the time to be open to do these things because I'm in a box. He's not in a box. So that helped me, become a better person in that area. So if I can just kind of get better with that and incorporating the kids, we do a lot of family activities together. We try to take little, trips. Hopefully during COVID, the pandemic, it strained some things, but you can do things in the house with your family, you love on them more, but it's just a daily balance, finding time for each little thing. Because if I'm going to be full force at work, sometimes the dishes won't get done that night if I had a hard day. The kids the clothes didn't get ironed that day, so I'm not going to iron them. So
toss them in the dryer.
Right, don't even try. So I'm going to put my focus. If a Monday is I have to teach on a Monday and I have to work the bedside on a Monday, then something is going to lightly go a little laxed. But on Tuesday, if I'm off, then ironing clothes, packing lunches. I'm 100% mommy mode, 100% wife mode. But everything we have to do is balance. It has to be
right.
I understand that. So Kellye, where can people find you? What's your social media, your Facebook, all that good stuff?
You can find me on Facebook, Kellye Knows Nursing, Facebook. I also have an Instagram, Kellye Knows Nursing, all in one, KELLYE KNOWS Nursing. All in one.
Nice.
And those are my two main platforms right now.
Okay. Cool.
Gotcha.
So guys, y'all already know we got. Show them your shirt one more time.
Show them that shirt.
This is one of my t-shirts. Kellye Knows Nursing. I have a mask as well. COVID. Y'all be safe out here still.
It's a dope mask.
I love that mask.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, wear your mask. Period.
Thank you.
That's one of the things.
Thank you.
And just be educated. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, this is great. Kellye, I am so glad that you came on to spend some time with us today. We got to have you back again to have you to talk more in depth about like some of the nursing classes, the structure, and for you to show us those planners once they're done. Okay. we're
I'm actually, Candace, I want y'all to go to I have a YouTube. I'm trying to create a YouTube.
Okay.
Cool. So I started my plan with me. So just look at one of those. I'm gonna send you the link. Definitely.
Okay. With me.
We will post that on our site as well.
Yes, we will. No, awesome. Congrats, girl.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you came.
I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Great.
And Kellye, do you have like any like closing remarks that you want to say, like a poignant statement that sticks with you?
Just no matter what life obstacles put you through, you keep your journey, keep your faith in God, keep going forward, and just keep working hard at it, and you will ultimately get to where you're trying to pursue, what goal it is, whatever goal it is.
That's right.
Anything in life you do, just keep going forward.
I couldn't have said that no better.
Delayed, not denied.
It sounds so cliche and basic, but it's the truth. It's the God honest truth. Put God first, and you won't go wrong.
That's right. Delayed, but not denied.
Candace, you want to tell everybody what we have coming up?
Yes, guys. So, want to give you guys a little secret. So, we're going to be partnering with BBOC, which stands for the Black Business Owners of Charlotte and also Corporation. So, we're going to be working with them for Buy Black Week, which is a national campaign. So we got some stuff coming, so don't want to give you guys too much now, but just stay tuned.
We're working behind the scenes.
If you haven't, like, share, and subscribe. Rodney, tell them where to find us.
You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, maybe TikTok one day at Cohort 1986. And then you can also find us on our website.
Yeah.
Our newly updated website.
Yeah.
Updated by Candace, called cohort1986.com. And Kellye, just plug your things one more time before we go. We want to give you all the promotion.
Oh, no problem. It's Kellye Knows Nursing on Facebook. And then on Instagram, it's Kellye Knows Nursing, all in one on Instagram, definitely.
Nice. And another place where you guys can find Kellye, check out our site, on the community page. So you'll see her logo there. So you'll see Kellye Knows Nursing, and it'll take you directly to her page. So.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a wonderful day.
Great.
And stay positive.
You.
Delayed, not denied.
See you guys next week. Bye.